This is economics class for class 8 for this week. The lesson remains same. This is basic concept of economics, and for this time we are taking a topic classification of human wants. This is point number 2.2.2. So what are human wants? In the previous class we have discussed. In that connection we discussed the human want versus the desire and the want, the distinction, the difference we discussed. Now today we shall learn about the classification of human wants. How can human wants be classified? This is a primary want. The human want can be classified into primary want and the secondary want. Primary want refers to those wants which are the requirement of human being for basic survival. That is called primary want. These are the requirement for the basic survival. These are called primary want. This primary want is divided into one for necessity and one for maintaining efficiency. One for necessity are or refers to those necessary items which we require in order to keep ourselves survived. Like you can take the example of salt, or matchstick. Salt, I was talking about sugar. You got sugar, salt, rice, sugar, rice. Okay, these are the basic necessity. This is required by rich and the poor all, and this is our first requirement in our life. This is the first requirement. We need this, and without this we will not survive. So that is the one for necessity. Next is the one for maintaining efficiency. In order to keep ourselves updated, we need to maintain ourselves. We need to maintain our quality. Like a student will definitely need notebooks. A teacher will definitely need chalk or a marker, books, copies. A carpenter will require the tools, hammer, isn't it? Such kind of tools which are required by different people, by different profession, are the one for maintaining efficiency. So these all are the primary want. And once the primary wants are fulfilled, then the want that arises is called secondary want. So in the secondary want, this is not for survival, but this is for making our life comfortable and easier. This secondary want is divided into two types. The first is the human for comfort, and then you have the one for comfort, and the next one is one for luxury. Comfort makes our life easy. It gives us satisfaction. It makes our life easy. Sofa, television, newspaper, they make our life comfortable. Okay, but there are some wants which are meant for luxury. These are actually the items which are very expensive, and it is used to demonstrate our power. Like car is a comfort. Car is a comfort. It makes our life comfortable. But luxury car will be one for luxuries. Like you have ornaments, expensive ornaments. Expensive ornaments are for luxury item, because these ornaments, luxury car demonstrates, it speculates, it shows off in the society, it talks about our power. So these are the one for the luxury. So dear children, want two types, primary, secondary. Primary two types, one for necessity, rice, sugar, one for maintaining efficiency, notebook, chalk, hammer. Secondary wants, once the primary want is fulfilled, we get the secondary wants, or the need for secondary want arise. Secondary want two types, one for comfort and one for luxury. Comfort, sofa, television, car will make our life comfortable, so that's for comfort. And for luxury, it's very expensive and it is used to show off and demonstrate our power in the society. Example is a luxury car and valuable and very expensive ornaments. So these are the different want we have. Now we shall learn the classification of goods and services. Now dear children, we are on another topic. This is topic number 2.3. I am not writing the page. I have written the topic. Topic will be better for you, and if you want, then it's on page number 16. Page number 16. This is 2.3 classification of goods and services. In economics, we have got different type of goods and services. Let's see what are those different types of goods and services. There are basically five types of goods and services. The first is the economic and non-economic goods. Economic good refers to those goods which are scarce in nature and command price. Like any good which has got its value, economic value, monetary value, refers to economic good. Your desk, bench, chair, books, bag, everything has been purchased with money. So those are economic goods. When you sell them, when you would like to sell them or exchange, you will get money. It has the monetary value. Non-economic good refer to those which does not command any value, like sunlight, air. It is non-economic. You get it free of cost. Those commodity which you don't get free of cost are the economic, and those which you get are non-economic good. This is the first type. Second is material good and non-material good. Material good and non-material good. Material good is tangible. It is tangible. And non-material good are intangible. That means material goods physically exist. It has shape, size, characteristics. It exists, can be seen, touched and felt. Non-material good does not exist and does not possess the physical characteristics. Like this marker, it exists, you can touch, feel and catch. So these are material good, it is tangible. Non-material goods in this example is the services. Services rendered by teacher, lawyer, doctor, engineer. Those services are the non-material good because they do not exist. You cannot put them in your pocket. This you can put in your pocket. The service rendered by your teacher, lawyer, doctor, engineer cannot be collected in a bag or put in the pocket. Okay, so they do not physically exist. They are non-material good. That's number 2. Now number 3 is intermediate and final good. Intermediate good refers to those goods which are required or which are used in the process of production. Some of the examples are the bricks, building. Bricks you bring and you will use it in the process of making a building. Okay, so that is the intermediate good. Once the building is prepared, once the building is ready and ready to be used, that becomes a final good. So you can, this is the best example. Building is the final good because it is ready to use, whereas the intermediate good example is the bricks, which is a factor of production, which is used in the process of production, that is further processed. Okay, and these intermediate good cannot easily be consumed, is not ready for the consumption, whereas the final good is ready for consumption. Brick you cannot consume, means brick you cannot start using, you cannot sleep, you cannot pile of bricks and start staying there. Okay, so that is intermediate good. But once the brick has been used and a building is constructed, that is a ready-made product. That is a ready product for consumption or for utilization. That's a final good. Example is a building. That is number 3. Now you have consumer good and producer good. Consumer good refers to those goods which the consumer use. Okay, and it satisfies the need of the consumer or the want of the consumer directly, like food stuff. Food, consumer will directly consume. Clothes, bag, pencil, we are the consumer, we directly consume them. So that is a consumer good, mean for the direct consumption and ready to be used by the consumer. Whereas the producer good, like hammer, tools, actually these are the tools, these are the commodities which are utilized by the producer. Example is that of tool, like hammer. Okay, so these are produced, these are used by the producer. If we are consumer, we don't need a hammer. Why do I need hammer? Whom do I have to hit? But a carpenter will use it as a tool in his business, in his profession. So that is a producer good. Who is using? Based on this, we have consumer good and producer good. Consumer good, if consumer good refers to those goods which are ready to be consumed by the consumer, we can directly use it. Producer good we cannot use, it is used by the producers. These are the producer good. And the last one is single use good and durable use good. Single use good can be used for several occasions, several times. Durable use, single use for only once, like steel. Steel